Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another Financial Hotline Talk Tips. Remember, kita start every time. Got to remind everybody, the show is very interactive. So if you got any questions about anything, even though off topic, whatever topic we put up there, if you got off topic thing, pun boleh. And whatever answer we give is all tips. So remember, the guy on this side, Rafiq, he knows what he's talking about. Me, I just try to layman translate things.
Hi JJ.
How are you, Las? Selamat Hari Raya.
I'm okay. Selamat Hari Raya. It's our
Yeah.
first show after Raya.
Correct.
So far still able to put off the weight after puasa.
Betul.
Still able to. Not sure how long can last, but yeah.
That is because tak ada no open house. That's it. Don't have to look far. It's like open house tak jadi. Kita orang faham, don't have to talk too much about it. It's a sensitive issue for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You want to talk. Okay, let's talk about tips. And once again, before we continue, we would like to say, if you want more tips, follow up there, their social media up there, because every now and then, all kinds of different things. Every other week, you'll find different tips, different up-to-date information about the current situation. If you want to check out your financial health, go register here, or scan here. I say, man, do all that and then you can get it for free. But if you want detailed one, then go further from that. Okay, let's talk about today. Today is different. We want to talk about your finances because we've talked about investments, we talk about diversifying your investment, watching it grow, understanding the risk factor, blah 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 blah, dan lain-lain lah. Tetapi kadang there are things that happen worldwide and or even locally that can cause a shift in the market. That's the best way to put it. A shift in the market. And when that shift happens, if you don't have the knowledge, you panic. When you panic, then you do like the toilet paper. Buy too much or sell too much. Okay? So today we want to try and focus on good financial practices that you should have, or checklists or things to do when crisis happens.
Okay lah. I think the main part where probably most people are also interested is with regards to the investment side.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Because
when big events happen, usually the first thing that would be affected in terms of your personal finances would be your investments.
Correct.
Okay. So in general, when you talk about big events, it doesn't matter lah, whether it's a crisis, whether it's a big announcement, or whether it's uncertainty, things like that. So what happens? It introduces additional volatility. Volatility means like macam laut lah. So biasa it's tak berombak, dia tenang saja. Atau ombak dia kecil-kecil. Tapi kalau macam bila big event, uncertainty, crisis jadi tu, tiba-tiba macam ada taufan.
And the ombak you cannot predict. Naik ke turun
ombak
ke.
Cannot predict. So ombak dia boleh a few meters high.
Correct.
Ataupun dia tarik dalam. So
ataupun dari kiri kanan dia datang, bukan depan belakang dia.
So and because of that, itu satu with regard the ombak. Tapi kalau you take the laut analogy a bit further, so also like the debris, like benda-benda yang dalam tu that comes your way and you might not even see it. Correct. Yeah, so you might not even see it. And so for people who trade, right? People who trade, that doesn't matter what market lah. Either it's stock ke, it's crypto ke, it's commodities ke, whatever kan. So usually there are a group people say, okay, when this is for the events that they know that's happening lah. So when big events or big announcements are happening, usually they say, okay, if kalau sampan you kecil, right?
Ah.
Don't go on the sampan when these things are happening.
Betul.
Don't go on the sampans when these things are happening, because in general, like, you might not like what the outcome would be lah.
Correct.
What the outcome would be. Yeah. So but that is your trading. So but most people actually, when they go into all these markets, doesn't matter what it is, you are investing.
Correct.
You are investing. So you're actually putting your money for medium to long term.
Yes.
Okay. So then, if you're doing medium to long term, then should you be worried about this points where there's volatility in the market?
Correct. Okay, before we continue, for people who are not so well versed, there's a difference between traders and investors when you're talking about stocks. Okay, traders are the people beli jual, you know, that kind of thing. Investors are the people who put in long term, also look at the dividends coming in and stuff like that. Okay, clear. Silakan.
Okay. So coming to investors, so the question is, should an investor be worried about the volatility that happens when a crisis hits?
Correct.
Okay. Actually, if you're looking into the big picture, the long term, actually, the volatility that happens maybe like, let's say now, or 1 month from now, or 3 months from now, and 5 months from now, might not have that big as an impact to your overall returns.
Okay, but you said might. What is the factors that you put into the might?
Okay, so it depends. Okay, how to say? So one would be how you manage your investments in the first place, lah.
Right. Okay.
One. So if let's say you're the one, okay, you just masuk ikut orang, you don't really understand what you're doing and everything. So let's take our good friend cryptocurrency lah. So over the past week, so there is a person who suddenly said certain things, then the market like went crashing 20-30%,
correct,
things like that, right? So that's the first part. Okay, so you're okay. I just ikut orang. Orang cakap ni, I ikut without understanding what is it that you're doing.
Correct.
Okay, doesn't understanding what you're doing. Okay, so then that's the first group. Second group is those that they actually do not have the money to actually invest in these places.
Right.
Okay, I actually do get questions from prospects from me. Okay, so I have this amount of money. So where should I put it? Because I need to make certain amount of money, blah blah blah. Okay, or should I take a loan in order to invest?
Okay.
Okay, so this kind of people, when this kind of things happen and they went in with the wrong intention, with the wrong understanding and everything, so the impact will be worse lah.
Correct.
The impact will be worse. And this type of people also, because they didn't do they don't have proper understanding, they don't have the research properly. So when these things happen, they would do one of two.
Okay, what are the one or two? Okay. What are the things?
Okay, so first is they get spooked and they exit.
Yes.
They get spooked and they exit.
The knee-jerk reaction.
The knee-jerk. So the thing is, if you then, right now, you are only experiencing what's called a paper loss.
Okay.
It's just a number in the system, in the platform. But until you actually sell your investment, that thing has not been realized yet.
Correct.
So which means, if let's say you're really talking, you betul-betul lah, I sebenarnya investor, I nak simpan 5 tahun, 10 tahun, things like that. So the potential, if let's say is the correct investment and everything, the potential of it going up long term is there.
Correct.
Is there. So that's what I mean about the noise. So kalau, if let's say you're investing, you should actually ignore the noise.
Correct. No, agreed.
You should be looking your objective, your long term.
I give you example of let's say travel or airlines. Okay, last 2 years airlines hit the road, but if logically thinking, when vaccines roll out, when things get better, there's gonna be revenge travel. Everybody who could not travel wants to travel a bit. By then, the stocks should go up. So
Logically lah.
yeah, logically lah. But
Okay,
if you
but the thing is, just me, we're not telling you to go buy airline
No,
stocks.
we're not telling you. Okay, remember, this is just example, just talking. Jangan pergi beli. Just kata, diorang cakap, suruh saya beli, I beli. No, the idea is, if you're looking at a long-term investments, you got to look at 5 years plan. So when you're looking at that graph ke apa, don't look at the last 3 months. You got to look at the year-on-year growth and year-on-year fluctuations are moving, then only you understand better. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, so coming back, so that's right.
Yep.
So those that knee-jerk reaction lah. So basically,
Yep.
okay, I'm gonna sell. I realize the loss, so then they're not gonna go in.
Right.
They're not gonna go in back until the market, they really see, okay, the market is an uptrend. Then they go in again, and then the market goes down again.
And then
Okay, so that's the first group lah, like
Yeah.
in this situation. Okay,
Yeah.
second group is those that okay, I have additional resources and they double down.
Oh, okay.
So they double down because they say, okay, I buy on dip. Ada kalau Melayu, I see some of the sipu saham have talk, ni semua kan. Dia panggil teknik tangkap pisau.
Tangkap apa? Pisau?
Pisau. So
Okay.
basically that thing is going down. So you're trying to catch so
the
that
knife. Yeah.
catch the knife lah. So that okay, hopefully you catch it properly. If you catch it properly, then you might benefit from it lah.
Correct.
If actually then the pisau cut you, then
then you berdarah lebih lah, double the berdarah.
Then you berdarah lebih lah.
Yeah,
Kan?
understand.
But right now we're only talking about people who don't know what they're doing.
Correct. This
Because
people
who know what they're doing, they're not gonna react.
Correct.
React mostly like this lah. They will understand what they need to do. They will stick with their plans and everything.
So that's the thing. Like everything when it comes to finances, we've talked already, from your budget lah to your expenses lah. Everything you have to have a plan. Don't have like a big piece of paper with macam main tikam, just throw a dice. Ya tu. Can't. When it comes to money and finances, tak boleh main tikam.
Tak boleh, because it's actually, if something happens to that money, you lose that money.
Yeah, correct.
You lose that money. So because ni lah. So and you tengok orang macam saya cakap tadi lah, orang masuk you masuk.
Yeah.
Orang cakap you dengar. Kan? Then orang tu mungkin dia tak buat apa-apa pun, ataupun dia sebenarnya bila dia cerita kat you, sebenarnya dia dah masuk 1 year ago, 2 year ago.
Itulah.
Right.
Dia masuk masa dia rendah. And
Dia
then
masuk masa dia rendah. They want you to help you to bring it up.
Correct. Then they can jual, and then when they jual, the thing start jatuh.
Yes, correct.
And then that's the funny part about cryptocurrency that I don't understand, Bitcoins and stuff like that. The scary part about, for me lah, when it comes to Bitcoins and all, this is non-financial advice, it's just my understanding of it. When it comes to currencies like Forex and all that, the money is tied to the country's economy, GDP, the well-being of the country. This Bitcoin, okay, someone like a CEO of a big company cakap sikit, then it can change the whole Bitcoin, which scares me. One man has more power than a nation. So yeah, so that's what I'm scared of.
So Bitcoin is very speculative in nature. So not Bitcoin lah, any cryptocurrency is very speculative in nature. So correct. Which means that any big movement actually has an impact.
Correct. Okay.
So the main reason why, let's say somebody like that person, let's not mention names lah, that person has an impact because that person holds a big amount,
Yes.
or that person has the ability because he's one of the richest people in the world.
Yes.
So in a control market, so when you talk about supply and demand, so if somebody who has the ability to create big waves by
Yes.
either buying or selling, so obviously the market is going to react based on whatever he says, because
Correct.
better we try to speculate
Yeah.
before he comes in that we get caught.
I didn't follow his Twitter.
Or follow his Twitter lah. But the thing is, after he says something, then too late already. It's
Too
moved
late
already
already.
because it's
Yeah.
very sensitive.
Correct.
The only other person that really has that big of a say was the previous US president lah.
Yeah. Betul.
That one is the whole
Different
whole
reason
market.
for it. Yes.
It's
Okay.
not just cryptocurrency.
Let's talk about that. Since you brought that up. Okay. How do we say this without political instability can cause problems in markets as well. All right.
Correct.
But if, like you say, some people don't know what they're doing, they freak out or they stay too long, saying, "Don't worry, it'll pick up." How what is the best gauge to? I'm not saying don't. Okay, please don't get us wrong. We're not saying if you already set your top and bottom, and the price reach your bottom already. We're not saying keep holding on. Okay, we're not saying that. We're just saying don't panic and just simply sell. Tu je. So if it hasn't hit your bottom, just you still can keep to it. But I want to know what signs should you look out for people who tak pandai but still want to invest and trade.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. Trade lah. So trade just now similar to what I said earlier lah.
Yep.
With regards to be honest, for somebody who wants to trade, because even I know how to trade, but I don't trade.
Oh yeah, correct. Same.
I don't trade. It's not because I do not know how. It's just that one, I don't have the time.
Yep.
I don't have the time to do so, and two, I'm not looking. That's not my main source of income anyway.
Yes.
So I'm not looking to make the quick buck, to speculation, to trading, whatnot. So I'm okay with making money through the traditional
hard work
way. Hard work, and also investing. Because I'm not targeting like 20, 30, 40% a year.
Yes. Okay.
Like to me, if my overall portfolio gives me between 8 to 10% a year, I'm more than happy already.
That's good.
Happy. I don't need to take the additional risk.
Yep.
Okay. Understand. So, but coming to the question that you were asking with regards to if there is political instability. So the thing is, you need to understand one thing about political instability. So when political instability happens, because markets are open.
Yes.
So it's not just, let's say, locals that are only investing in the market.
There's foreign investors as well.
There's foreign investors, and sometimes, and foreign investors, these are your hedge funds, your sovereign funds, your retirement funds from other countries, and these are people with a lot of money.
Yes, it's big money.
Big money, and they are actually looking into how they can further diversify their holdings.
Understand.
So they are looking, how can we optimize? How can we diversify the holdings? And so they will say, should we go to that market? Should we go to this market? Things like that. Yeah. However, because these people, they have their own responsibilities and everything, which is to the account holders lah, to jaga betul-betul and everything, right? So they will then look, if let's say a country is unstable due to politics, right? Means like there is always a possibility that the government might change.
Yes. That's the biggest line a lot of people use.
Yeah. So example, like if you remember the European punya time where the PIGS, Portugal, Ireland, Greece, semua tu kan. You remember Greece at one time was changing their governments regularly. So then you can see what happens. So their stock market tank, their bond market tank, right?
Everything
So
because foreign investors pull out.
foreign investors pull out.
Right. Okay.
So foreign investors pull out. So, and depending on that, so if let's say the foreign investors pull out, would the local investors be able to replace?
Sustain. The money in.
No, it's not to sustain, to replace.
Yes, correct.
Because it's based on supply and demand, remember?
Yeah, so there's a void that is gone. If it's not replaced, then there is a problem.
That's a problem lah.
Okay. Faham.
So in a layman term, basically, orang tak nak beli benda yang kita ada.
Yeah. Okay.
Kan? So paling senang lah. You remember early MCO last year?
Yes.
What went up in price?
Mask. Okay. I
face
thought
mask.
tissue. Yes.
Face mask, right?
Yeah, correct.
Face mask. So face mask was very hard to get by,
and hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. It became very expensive.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Then people started hoarding.
Yes.
People bought to sell and everything because they wanted to make the quick buck. So then suddenly there was an oversupply.
And then they lost lah because they got too much of something that people don't want.
And then people didn't want to buy because then we were done with MCO. We went to CMCO. We went to RMCO. Then suddenly you have an oversupply of masks. So then these people really had to let go of their stock at a very cheap price, and they lost money.
They lost money. Understand?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with stock market. So
right, understand.
Like money went up. There needs to be money supply come in to replace it.
Okay.
But if let's say the local players cannot replace that,
correct,
then the market will be depressed.
Okay. Now on another question is, other countries' volatility and conflicts, can that affect local markets? And do we have to worry about stuff like that?
I think it depends on how big of an impact or how big of a relationship that country has with ours.
It's okay, I understand. If like country cannot go with our passport, boleh just ignore.
To the next time lah.
Faham.
Yeah. So that one would be like a blip lah.
Understand.
That one would be like a blip. But let's say something happens to China.
Okay. Okay.
It's one of our bigger trade partners.
Correct.
So something big happens there will have an impact to our financial market.
Oh, so we have to know also our foreign policy also lah. Our country's foreign policy. If you want to trade and all that, you should know our country's foreign policy too. Because
it has an impact. It's just like whether it's a big impact or a small impact. So that is to be seen now because it depends on what. So example. So let's take China, or let's say China goes to war with US.
Okay.
I'm not saying it, hypothetically lah.
Yeah, hypothetically, semua orang jangan panik. Okay, sabar. This is just talking. Okay.
So if let's say they go both to war, so right now, okay. So what will happen to their trade partners? So are we still exporting things to China? Are we still importing things from China? Are we still exporting things to US? Are we still importing things to US? Because this is going to affect the income of the local players.
Right. Okay. So those are the things you have to.
So that it impacts their economic ability to generate income.
Right.
So it does affect because Malaysia market, whether we like it or not, our local consumption is not enough.
Correct.
In order to ni.
Correct.
So
we need foreign. We need foreign investments.
So I read somewhere even like okay lah, our food safety pun tak cukup. We cannot generate enough food for ourselves.
That is scary.
Yeah. So like we eat a lot of rice, but
Yes.
we can only grow 25% of the rice that we consume.
Right.
The rest we actually ambil
Import
daripada
from
Thailand.
and if there's problem with Thailand, it could
Ah,
affect us.
then harga rice akan naik lah.
Right. Okay. Understand. So it's not an easy question to answer. Whether it
It will have
affects
an impact.
it
It
will
will
have
have
a
an impact.
whether long term or short term. That one
That one depends.
nobody. It depends on what. No, because you see, the main reason why we're asking all this is I a lot of people panic buy and panic sell, and because of the panic buy and panic sell, then that's when problems come. Like I give you when the US recently, that oil pipeline got hacked, and then they had to shut down, and then they told people, don't worry, there's enough, don't panic, don't hoard, don't buy. But then naturally when you tell people don't worry, they hoard and buy, and then problem arise. So how do you what's the best way, but best practice, not way, what's the best practice to put in place whenever, like konon practice lah dalam your otak, if this happens, what do I check, and then relax.
Okay,
Ada tak?
okay, I can talk from my own
Your
practice
experience.
and also
Yes, please.
my own experience in terms of what I do for myself or what I do for my clients.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier, okay, whatever it is when you talk about your personal finances, what's most important is the plan.
Yes. Correct.
What's most important is the plan. So because when I identify or create a portfolio for my client, it will always be linked to a plan.
Okay.
So it will be linked to an objective. So it is not going to be created out of thin air or random. There is always something to tie it to. Okay.
Right.
So then instead of, let's say, looking at it, this particular counter, this particular unit trust fund, this particular cryptocurrency, things like that, I'll be looking at that goal in terms of how to achieve it with a portfolio.
Okay.
A portfolio that has been developed or created to be able to reduce the risk that me or my clients take when this kind of things happen. I give you an easy example. So I did a post recently on my Facebook. I took a screenshot of one of the crypto app and showing that, Bitcoin went down by 20 something percent.
Right.
Okay. So, but the thing is, what I tell to my clients, I'm not saying that they should not invest in crypto. You should. You should have some exposure to the asset class.
Crypto. Right.
Yeah. But it should not be your main.
Correct.
It should not be the biggest chunk of your total portfolio.
Yes.
Okay. So for my clients, generally I would advise them about 5%, max 10% speculative assets.
Right. So if you want to gamble, in a layman term, in a layman, gamble and try and see whether you can hit big or whatever. 10% is max, because at the end of the day, you'll only lose 10%.
Yeah, correct. So if I want to put it into numbers, illustrate in numbers, so that people listening can understand better. So just imagine you have 100,000.
Right.
Okay, you have 100,000 and 90%, 90k of your portfolio is something that gives you 6% per annum.
Okay.
So you are getting 90%, 90,000 times 6%, which is 5,004. After 1 year lah.
Yeah.
After 1 year, you dapat duit dividend or return 5,400. So your last 10%, you put, let's say, in Bitcoin. You put in Bitcoin can go up 100% in 1 year.
All right. Yes, correct.
So that 10k can become another 10k. So then if, let's say, best case scenario, you get 5,004 plus 10,000, so 15,004. So your
Correct.
total return that year is 15.4%.
Correct.
Okay. Let's say worst case scenario, you lose 50%. Not all lah. Let's say you lose 50%. You lose
Okay.
50% of that 10K. So now you
Yes.
lost 5K.
Yes.
You lost 5K, but the thing is,
But
just now you made 5,004.
correct.
So 5,004 plus minus 5,000, you still made 400 for the year. So
Correct.
technically, you have minimized your risk. So you tak lose you punya capital.
Correct. And at the end of the day, you still made some.
You still made some money.
You have gains, lah. You have
Yeah,
gains.
0.4% is better than negative 10 lah. Let's put it that way.
Correct. So it's the long run idea. Like for a lot of people who wants to go into investments, from the time we started, even you talking about orang atas-atas with a lot of money to orang yang kecil-kecil trying to save. At the end of the day, whatever you're investing is that it's supposed to give you returns, not take away your money, and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a goal set. Like after 10 years, I want to make this much extra. It's easier to achieve that way. Jangan be greedy. Jangan like my goal is supposed to reach that much. I'm only willing to risk this much for crypto. Suddenly, crypto shoots up, say 50%, and then you're like, ooh, sure got chance to go up. Then you throw extra money in there, and then habis, and then you lose everything. So you have to have a long-term plan, and it's a slow growth.
So it's having a plan. So when you have a plan, you implement. After
Correct.
you implement, you review.
Yes.
So you review. So and this is the right thing. So when you do the review, you're not taking knee-jerk reaction. You're basically reviewing the plan as a whole. Okay.
Yep.
Based on let's take the example. So you cakap, orang ni, I dah bubuh. Lepas tu nanti nampak crypto net 50%, you dump more than what your asset allocation is supposed to be, what your portfolio size or mix is going to be. Then suddenly it goes down, then there goes your plan. There goes your plan of the Whereas, if let's say you look at it, okay, this is my plan. I need to achieve, let's say, 10%, 11% per annum lah. Okay. So then you said, okay, does my current portfolio help me get there? Can I take additional risk? Or you check back the portfolio mix, because when you started, okay, you only had this amount, but when your portfolio grows, suddenly like your portions of the asset has changed because different assets grow differently. So now you're doing rebalancing. Rebalancing is basically putting back your portfolio to the same percentages that it used to be. So there will be certain things that you sell, then you buy, you would then switch or buy some other assets in order to rebalance it lah.
Understand.
So if let's say when you do that, and it happens to be that, okay, now based on my plan, okay, I can actually add a bit more money into crypto. Because my asset allocation allows me to do. Then by all means,
go ahead.
By all means, go ahead.
Yeah. So okay, if you're tengah dengar whatever we're talking about and your face is like this, that's why we've got the link on top. Go check your financial thing there, and then get in touch with them. Get in touch with Wealth Vantage to get a deeper understanding. Because whatever we're giving today, what I have to repeat it. Whatever we're giving today, whatever we talk about throughout all our shows, are just tips and generalization of topics. Okay, it's not specific answers or 100% guarantees for everybody, because everybody lain. It's setengah orang suka cotton, setengah orang suka linen. So it's like your body mana lagi lawa dengan pakai apa tu, you kena tahu. You cannot just simply, like makeup pun, you cannot just whack any color there. Certain people fit this makeup, certain people don't. So you cannot just because Kim Kardashian got that makeup, you not makeup, then suddenly you look weird. All right. So I hope that makes sense.
Very interesting. When you say makeup, suddenly not a financial advice.
Very good timing. On top of that, if you got any questions, please put it up in the comments below. Unfortunately, I don't know what's wrong with my Facebook. I can't seem to open it up. That's why I tengah pandang tapi my phone is not open up from just now, so I cannot see. So if there's any comments, oh, there you go. Thank you. I could not see the comments. Over the past 1 week plus, I managed to cash out while still profiting. So now I'm slowly going as below my original investment. Phew, long term still positive. That's a statement.
It's a comment.
Not a question or anything. Yeah, it's a comment. Yeah. It's good for you, man.
Good that you're profiting. Yeah, good for you. They're profiting.
Yeah. I've got a question. I've got a question. Why did you cash out? Victor, if you're watching this, I want to know the factors that you did to cash out. Was it a knee jerk or was it planned? It's just if you can answer. Because if you can share and learn. Okay, now here's a random thing. I don't want to rosakkan other people's rice bowl and all that. But there are a lot of gurus out there. A lot of gurus saying, take my program worth $1,000 and then you'll make $1 million. My question is, does it work for everybody? I mean, like, how do you find what are the telltale signs that someone actually knows that what they're talking about, or just regurgitating talking points from other people?
Oh, okay. Interesting question. How do I answer this without
no, because tengah orang, I have to say, there are so many people claim they're gurus, and everybody want to try and make extra money. And I'm not saying there are fake people, all of them are fake. There are some people who are really good and they give you good advice and you learn a lot. But how do you tell? Or maybe like if you're already gone for the class, what kind of questions can you ask to know whether this person knows what you're talking about or not? Because I don't know. We're talking about long-term investments and knowledge and all that. So would you happen to have?
It's actually okay. So there's two school of thoughts when you ask. So because there's a group of people who say, okay, let's take those stock gurus or those forex gurus or whatever who book up class and everything. So then they charge 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 per class, blah 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 blah. Okay, so there's one group of views that say, why are these people teaching and charging? Because if they're really good at what they do, shouldn't they make more money while trading in the market instead of doing these classes?
Right. Okay.
So
that's just a thought. Doesn't mean 100%.
Doesn't mean 100% true, right? Because there are people who actually I know they actually do the teaching, the training, and everything, because one is you cannot trade all the time anyway. Because it depends on the trading style. So because a lot of people think when you talk about traders, everybody trades the same way. No.
Yes. Not everybody trades the same way.
There are people who like, okay, do trades like macam very quick. Scalpers.
Yeah.
Right. So masuk keluar. High volume. Masuk keluar. And so, okay, obviously these people will spend a lot of time in front of the computer or handphone, whatever, because that's just their style.
Yeah.
Okay, so dia tak buat banyak, tapi dia buat banyak trade.
Yeah.
Trade tu untung sikit saja.
Yeah.
High volume.
Yes.
High frequency traders lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but there are people who take one position, then position 2 they will close the position before the end of the day.
Right. Okay.
So intraday.
Yeah.
So, but there are people who will then take a position, then do swing long term. So can be a week, can be a month,
Correct.
so on and so forth. It's
Correct.
not because they tak tahu, tapi they are looking at a longer time frame.
Understand.
They're,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're longer time frame. So if let's say you are somebody who knows how to trade, but you are fundamental in nature, you take long term trades and everything. So technically, you do have a lot of time.
Okay. Yeah.
You
That's
have
why
a lot of
they.
time.
Yeah.
So is there anything wrong with you making some money from teaching others?
Not at all.
No, not
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So like just saying that somebody is not a real guru because instead of uh, earning income from trading, he or she is spending more time in terms of teaching.
Correct.
It's not necessarily true lah,
It's
but
not necessarily true. Agreed.
it's not
Because
necessarily true.
one thing I can say is you're not putting the value of their knowledge as well. Sometimes their knowledge is valuable too, so that's why they charge at that price.
Yeah,
So
correct.
correct. So that
Yeah,
is true. That's
yeah,
the thought.
so just yeah, because there are people who basically say, oh, if this guy is really good, why
Then
why
why?
he's charging me for why is he charging me for the class?
Understand.
Why is he charging me for the class? Okay, but when you talk about trading, so there also people okay, if you are really good, please show your
Portfolio.
portfolio.
Yes.
Please show your portfolio. So not but this is where okay, not everybody is willing to show their portfolio.
Yeah.
Even sometimes they show their demo accounts instead of the real account
Correct.
of the real account. So some people might take this, oh, if you let's say you're only showing your demo accounts, anybody can make money using demo accounts because it's not real money.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
you just
risk.
there's no risk to it. So there's no
Yeah.
emotions attached to it.
Correct.
There's no emotions attached to it, right? So if let's say I'm not saying 100% that you can take that as a possibility, but if let's say somebody who says that ni is not willing to show you actual proof that he or she is good at what they do,
Yep.
then ni and I think the other part is basically in terms of how they're guaranteeing lah. So because
Oh,
like if
okay.
you've done trading before, right?
Yes, I have.
You've done trading before. So you know that actually trading is about the process.
Yes.
Is actually okay. There's no surefire technique 100% you untung.
Correct. If not, all brokers will be multimillionaires, and
Correct.
they just relax. They won't be brokers.
Yeah. So because the thing is like your trading technique might only like give you 50% wins.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as long as that 50% wins punya value is bigger than the 50% loss punya value, you profit already.
Correct. It's all about your gains at the end of the day.
It's all about your gain. So it's all about so trading is all about the process. So even if let's say somebody shows, okay, I lost a lot of trades, but
Yep.
overall, because of the technique, because of the process that I did, I still make more money than I lost. So
Correct.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's just that obviously you want to reduce the losses lah, or you want to reduce drawdowns in terms of your
Understand.
positions and everything kan. So like because I've tried to go ni semua, so like usually those are some things I will ask like, okay, I want to know your real experience instead of you just saying that you're good or testimonies from others and everything.
Understand. So
Right.
I like what you said, because most of the time in this world, there's not many times you can say guarantee. So when someone say, guarantee you come to my class, guarantee you can make this much money, then it is suspect. But if they say, look, I'm going to give you all my knowledge, and I'll show you my experience throughout my years, and that's a different thing. So the language is important. I guess the language that is used that is important.
Correct. So basically, you are trying to tell, okay, I'm going to teach you, but I'm not saying that once you learn this, you will become a super trader, you become a master trader, you can basically make a living out of this, blah blah blah. But if you actually keep at it, things like that, you will become good enough so that you can profit from it.
So in other words, don't always trust the Instagram ads that pop up and the Facebook ads that pop up saying, why you sit at home? Follow me now and you can make thousands. That one different.
But the thing is, that's the one that people follow.
That's what I'm trying to address. I'm not saying there are not real people out there sharing knowledge. There are a lot of people who are good at what they're doing and they share the knowledge. And if you're one of those who want to go into trading and stuff like that, but you don't want to, you don't have the knowledge, go to proper brokers lah. You know what I mean? Go to proper people. Go to financial advisors. You go to people who know, so that they can do it for you. So that's why there are these services out there. Bukan they all simply just there because they want to help people who don't know to help them out. All right. Once again, guys, if you've got any questions, please put it in there in the comments. I don't know what's wrong with my Facebook. I can't see. Normally, I can see the comments and I address it straight away. But unfortunately, something is up with my Facebook. Hopefully, no one hacked it or something like that. And then suddenly, like I speak Russian, or then I'm in trouble. I hope not lah. But anyway, we're talking about trades today, and we're talking about how situations affect people's mentality and your investment. Okay, what are the things that you should, like, ears perk up and be aware when it comes to investments? Like something like this happen, like you just said just now. If we are our country deals a lot with China. If there's something that's happening in China, perk up and start noticing things. What other things that should you, like, your telinga naik sikit, like what's going on?
So once you hear there is, okay, so that those are basically things that are happening outside. But if you hear something that's happening inside, so potential change in government.
Okay.
So that would basically say instability.
Yes.
Overall in the market lah, because we're not talking specific counters or whatnot.
Agreed.
We're not talking specific counters or not. We're talking in general market where everybody who's invested in that market would be affected.
Now, remember, it goes back to what we said earlier, because in Malaysia itself, we rely a lot in foreign investors. So that is the reason. Okay, jangan panic ke apa. Okay, next one.
Or like the our ratings in terms of the rating agencies. So like the Fitch, Standard & Poor, Moody's, and everything. So how they rate us, or how they rate any countries, will have an impact to the market.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's something else that would have an impact. But like I said again, this would be more for, let's say, short-term traders.
Understand.
Yeah, because if you're investing in the long run, this would be noises.
Yes.
This would be noises, because there will be the ups and downs, up and down. So we'll just take last year. So last year during March, when MCO was announced, started and everything, the market crashed.
Correct. Because everybody was like,
so everybody didn't know what was going. It took everybody by surprise, blah 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 blah. But then once things stabilized, we got it under control and everything. Until September, October, then the market was going up
again. Yep.
was going up again. So
Yep.
then basically when it went down by 30% was basically just a noise in the if you look at it from a long-term point of view.
Correct.
Because long-term it still went up.
Yep.
Long-term it still went up. So that's why I said it's slightly different when you talk about investing versus trading.
Correct. But if you're looking at investing, can you imagine you freaked out when the market was dropping and you sold and you lost money? So that's what we're trying to address today. It's like, don't freak out too much. You have to understand it proper, and you have to understand why you're doing what you're doing. If you're doing it for long term and all that, stick to your guns, stick to your plans, stick to the people who like we said, if you have a financial planner, speak to them, review with them. They will review with you, because if you go through our past things, Rafiq has explained what happened when the MCO hit and what he did with his clients. Okay, so if you want to see that, go see our past videos. It's explained there of what happened and stuff like that. So if you have people who know what they're doing around you, it's easier to control your panic lah. But in the long run, you have to know what you're doing lah. Don't masuk sebab you nak jadi kaya, become rich quick because you saw an Instagram video.
Yes, that's actually very important. Like okay, so like a lot of people actually they get caught because of greed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that you are trying to get rich quick is greed. So generally you might not be making the best financial decision for you.
Correct. Both ways, even like gains and losses.
Yes, correct. So to me it's like what I tell. So even if you think that thing is legit and everything, but it's too good to be true, like think again. So because like proper investments and everything, like there's no real timeline to it lah. So it's not something that if I don't make the decision, I'm gonna lose out forever.
Correct.
Right.
I mean, like,
because it's not trading. It's not. Like,
even
you miss the entry, right? Then there's gonna be later.
Even trading, I remember like when I did it for Bursa, I within 8 weeks I did 52 or something like that, something ridiculous like that within 8 weeks, and everybody like, you crazy, yeah? But I did it in a way because I had my plan, I had my research, I've understood each thing I was buying into, and I had my highs and lows. So I had my highs and lows to a point where if I hit my high, I'm not greedy going, hey, maybe it can go up higher some more. It's like if I set that mark, it hit the mark, I sell. I don't even look at it. Even the bottom, if it hit the mark, I sell. Loss. So as long as you stick to your guns and not go greedy, hey, got chan, don't. Because even like the loss, some people, if it goes to that point, you go, no, maybe it got chance to go up a bit more. That's when you start losing a lot of things.
Right. But the thing is, when you talk about the so you already screen the stocks that you're gonna go in. You're not going to any random counter. So even if somebody like tells you, okay, I have a tip, blah blah blah, but it's not part of the stocks that you screen, you don't go in.
Yeah, correct.
Because it's not part of your plan. It's not part of your plan. You don't. It's not something that you can make a decision on the spur of the moment just because somebody else say, hey, JJ, go in. This is good.
Correct. It's dangerous. It's like you're walking through muddy water. Just you don't know ada buaya ke tak kat tu. Orang kata door inside there got gold. Go. Habis.
Because it might actually be good. It might actually be a good tip. But the thing is, because you are not you haven't done your research with regards to it, then from a risk versus reward point of view, it's actually better not to go in.
Correct. like what Rafiq said earlier, it's a process. So if you have your process before you buy, adapt that process for everything you do. Don't try to change the process just because of a tip. Okay,
Correct.
never do
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
you're taking too much of a risk.
Correct.
It's
So even if your trading is a process, your investing is also a process.
yeah, correct.
So it's a
Betul.
process. You don't just suddenly change the process that you're going through because now, okay, Bitcoin rallied by 300%.
Yep.
Ripple rallied by 300%. Gold went up. So suddenly, can I switch my portfolio to be this?
A lot of people do that.
A lot of people do that. So that's
Yeah.
why a lot of people buy high, sell low.
Right. Okay.
In investment, it's actually the opposite. You should buy low, sell high. When the market is screaming, is bleeding red. So that is where you go in. You look for opportunities.
Correct.
You look for opportunities. You understand, okay, should I go in here? Should I invest here? Should I invest here? You don't go in when every Tom, Dick, and Harry is telling you to go in.
Yeah.
That is a telltale sign for you to get out.
Yes,
And that
exactly.
means demand is at all-time high.
Correct.
Because
No, agree.
trading and investment is basic supply and demand.
Correct.
It's basic supply and demand. So you think logically, if everybody is talking about it, doesn't that mean the demand is high?
Yeah.
So if the demand is high, so should you be buying when the demand is high?
The question is, we're not saying cannot buy.
Yeah.
We're saying when you buy when the demand is high, make sure the money you invest or trading with, you're willing to lose.
Correct.
That's
So
about
go
it.
back to the process lah.
Go back to the process. So if you're going in, you're like, oh, this is high, but this money, okay, I don't mind losing this much because it's 10% of my gains from the last one. Okay, tak apa. You know what I mean? At least I still got gain from the last one. And if this one just increases my gains, then can. But if it does, don't take from your capital and throw in there, and then you cry.
Yeah. So I tell my clients easily. So you want to go into crypto? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead into crypto. This is the maximum amount you go in.
Yes.
Okay. You don't take more than this amount. If you lose this amount, you lose this amount.
Yes.
Don't come to me and basically say, Rafiq, okay, I lost all the money. Can I put additional money? No. You went in with understanding that you will lose that amount.
Correct. So which is a good mentality to have. Not mentality, it's a good understanding to have. If you're going into trade, all right, your whatever, you're willing to lose that amount. You have to, like Rafiq said at the start already, if you're willing to lose that thing, then do the extras. Okay, the money, the extras are willing to lose, not your capital that you have to make.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. No, because okay, today's show was just basically about market how market reacts and how your investment, because a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people lose out because of the knee-jerk reaction to a certain situation, and then like and the worst part about that is that creates a chain reaction also. Because one like a small group of people knee-jerk, then everybody like, hey, they are doing it, that means they know something that I don't know, and then it creates a chain reaction of stupidity. I just say
yeah. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it has happened. So that's why I'm just saying, as long as the main reason we're having these kinds of shows is just to educate you on give you financial education. So whatever we're giving is not 100% guaranteed or 100% suits your way of life or your style. It's just tips and experiences that we've gone through. Once again, if you got any questions, put it in the comment. We will answer it. If you want a free financial health check, go up here, see it's over there. If you want tips and understandings and everyday you know, you can see all kinds of different financial tips. Follow their social media, it's at the top there. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to do. Go find out, get educated, because the more you're educated, the less you'll have knee-jerk reaction, the less you'll have fears, the less you'll just do something you'll regret because of something that like terkejut, everyone's doing it. Oh no, I saw in my WhatsApp group, my mother sent to me, so therefore, you know, that kind of craziness, we don't want that to happen. Anything else you want to add, Rafiq?
No, I think that summarizes it.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. Hopefully this can help. If you can, please share this with your friends. If you got any questions, like we said earlier, just put it up in the comments. We will try our best to answer them as well. And if you even have suggestions of topics that you want us to cover,
please tell
okay?
us. Please tell us.
Yeah, please tell us, because what we're trying to do is whatever topics we do is based on the current situation that's going around. That's what we try to cover. But we don't want to say we know it all. We know what exactly what's going on. What's everybody talking about? Kita ni orang biasa juga, humans. So if you've got tips on topics, that also please put it in. Or if you segan, put in comment, DM je lah, Wealth Vantage. DM dia orang, hello, can the next time you all talk about this?
Can. Tak ada problem.
Not the masalah.
If let's say we are not the experts in talking about it, we will then find somebody who can talk about it.
Correct. And if you want to, like, if you like what we did before this, we spoke specifically for the B40 group and we brought in Syed Azmi. We can do that also for specific things, if the topic is right, and if we have the expertise for it. That's about it. But anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching, as usual. And we'll catch you again in 2 weeks' time at this time. Bagus, malam-malam. Dah makan punya time. Alright, bye guys.
So dah balik kepada waktu biasa ya.
Itulah. Jangan lupa. Alright guys, see y'all.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye.